You have your scale. Notice that the good scores are from 30 to 50, 10 to 20. Yes, we are proactive and we do have internal locus of control. We do have centrality, but it might be solely related to ourselves. So I might show a good level of centrality with regard to what is mine. So my job description, my role. But if I want to have an impact, so be influential, I need to raise my level of centrality. So yes, I question myself. Yes, I become the cause of everything, but I do that to also bring influence, positive influence, onto my working relationships, family relationships, business relationships. When it's too high, the positive characteristics of the trait remain valid. However, at this level, the person might be a bit know-it-all. Well, the way I do things, the way I know things, I know-it-all, especially if self-discipline is really high and if self-motivation is really high. And that's why we spend a little bit of time looking at what happens when centrality trait is above 60. People become a little bit touchy, a little bit sensitive. They might have also, it might be a way to camouflage a sense of inferiority. The person unconsciously thinks they are not good enough. And so they want to appear good at all cost. The good little girl syndrome. And often wanting to appear good at all costs is the behavioral solution that the individual adopts to exercise their belittling thoughts about themselves. This can also manifest itself as a need to prove that they are good. In my first test in 2016, I had low determination and I had high centrality. Like really high centrality. So I was a know-it-all and who couldn't set boundaries, couldn't say no, who couldn't really defend, protect, or assert herself. And I was a know-it-all with a really big sense of inferiority. I had to be a good girl. I had to be the best students. I had to be the most athletic. I had to be, always top of the game. And that came from obviously being raised by a narcissist father and not ever being good enough. Okay, so when you have low determination and you have high centrality, or maybe centrality just shoots out, it's the only high trait in the test, remember that you might be looking at good girl syndrome, or there might be a little bit of touchiness, oversensibility to things. So again, it's a very delicate trait. Be kind, be gentle, be patient with people if they have low centrality and you need to raise it up, or if they have high centrality and you need to harmonize. When we have a low score, the person should be encouraged to take center stage. Instead of blaming others, they should identify with, okay, what could you do? What could you have done in the past? What maybe you didn't see in the past that you see now? It is also helpful for them to look at how they contributed to the problem so that they can change their actions and attitudes. Small doses, gradually, patiently, with lots of kindness. They must train themselves to face up to uncomfortable situations and those that cause them to be touchy or lose control. Whether the trait is low or very high, the person should be taken aside in private. HR managers, team leaders, please listen to this carefully. Never reprimand a low centrality person in front of other people. And you want to always, first of all, as a general rule, I always tell my clients, you celebrate publicly and you reprimand or discipline privately. And when you do discipline or reprimand, always use a sandwich technique. So we want to say something positive, celebrate the person, celebrate the value that they bring to the team, to the job, to the partnership, to the relationship. Introduce this specific behavior that needs correcting, that is inefficient, and then close the sandwich with an encouragement, a motivation, a belief that you have that they will do great moving on forward. Obviously, this works most of the time with most people. Each individual test must be assessed individually for that particular person in that particular setting, which you are learning how to do. An exercise that you might want to use is help them analyze the situations that are not going as they would like, or that they are unable to manage, that causes them suffering. So you put them in front of their life as a daughter, sister, life as a wife or husband, life as a business owner or partner, life as a team member or a manager. You put them in front of their different roles and you get them to map out the things that today are not working for them, that today cause them suffering. And now, second step, you help them write down how they contributed to creating or perpetuating the situation. So maybe they avoided taking care of things, maybe they procrastinated, maybe they pretended not to see because they didn't want to have arguments, maybe they took the easy way out, maybe they took a shortcut, maybe you helped them see what they did or didn't do that caused this outcome, that contributed to this outcome, and you help them write down. Okay, obviously it has to be a fair, obviously this should help them see their contribution, but careful not to emotionally overcharge. It's not the end of the world. It's okay, and we can fix it. And now that you see it, you won't repeat it. So, because it can get very emotional for people, this type of work. And so the third phase of the exercise is you help them identify one action, specific action that they can do to, or a phrase, okay, or a conversation that they can have, or an action that they can do to start shifting that particular situation towards a desired scenario. So this is it can get very emotional. Again, patience and kindness. This work is really tough for some people. On a deeper level, this trait is the birthplace of sovereignty. Centrality is not about controlling everything, not at all. It's about standing inside chaos and choosing who you want to be in it. This is the art of inner alchemy. This is where the magic happens. We turn our more reactive spots into awareness and evolution. We turn our old stories into new truths and perspectives and insights. We turn survival into aligned, calm, centered leadership and guidance. And of course, like any alchemical process, it is not instant. It takes presence, it takes honesty, it takes the courage to keep saying, whether I have caused this or not, I am the one who gets to transmute it now. So thank you again for being with me in this lesson. I will see you in the next video.